Welcome to Learn English with Dr. Riches. In this playlist, I'll be sharing engaging and informative lessons to help you understand the tidbits and miniatures in the study of the English language. I'm Dr. Riches and I'm happy to be your teacher. Today, we'll be looking at the English word structure. So, what's a word in English? A word is a unit of language that carries meaning in parts or in combination with other words. This means that when you break a word into its constituent parts, some make meaning on their own while others do not, except when they are attached to root words. So a typical word can be a base word without other elements, but when you see that there are constituents, there are other parts added to a word, then you know that they can be broken down. Therefore, words consist of smaller units that are called morphemes. So words consist of morphemes. Morphemes are therefore the building blocks of words, which are the smallest units of language that carries meaning. Types of morphemes. We have dependent morphemes and independent morphemes. Dependent morphemes are also called bound morphemes, and independent morphemes are also called free morphemes. Dependent morphemes cannot stand on their own. For instance, you have prefixes like on, unrelated. You have reuse. You have ill, illegal. You have suffixes, ly added to a word. All right. You have al. You have ed. So you have educational. Al added to that. That's the suffix. Then you have inflectional endings that can mark plurality. They can mark tense. So you have plural, you have singular, you have past tense forms, all right, added to the root of the word to mark inflection. Now, independent are those words that can stand alone without all of these dependent morphemes and they can make meaning. Examples, you have run, you have happy. Also, function words are independent. They can stand on their own without adding anything like the, and, but. Now, from what we have said so far, you can see that there is a structure in the English word. So you can have the formula for the English word as PBS. Now, P is in brackets, B without a bracket, and S is in brackets. Now, any item in bracket is optional, while items that are not in bracket are obligatory. So they are the only compulsory elements in the formula. So in this formula, the base or the root is only the compulsory elements. So the P and S are optional. You can have it, you may not have it. So P stands for prefix, B for the base or root, and S stands for suffix. Next, we move on to word formation processes. Word formation processes are the ways by which new words are created or formed in a language. There are several ways that words come into any particular language. And here we're looking at some ways by which words come into the English language. First, we talk of affixation. Affixation means to attach something. So from our explanation earlier, you see that we have prefix, you have suffix, and another one is infix. So prefixes are added before in front of a root word, suffixes at the back, and infixes are inserted. Now you can look at the examples here: unconventional, you have the prefix, you have the base, then you have the suffix. The word compounding, all right, means two independent words. That is, the words are two, they are independent and they are joined together. For example, you have the word black and board gives you blackboard. You also have a word formation process called blending. Now, these are two words that are put together, but when you put them together, they are not independent words anymore. For instance, you have the word hotel and motel. It gives you motel. So you can see that the two words are not seen anymore. They have become one. Unlike compounding, where you have the two are still independent words. You have conversion, where you change the word class of a particular word to another word class. For instance, the word table, which is a noun, can be converted to a verb. For instance, if you say this is a table, that's a noun. But if you say I will table the matter before the principal tomorrow, you have turned that to a verb. You also have derivation, when you add prefixes or suffixes to a root word to create a new word. For instance, the word happy plus ness gives you happiness. Now we move on to clipping. Clipping means shortening of a word. It's still the same word, but it's been shortened to a smaller version of itself. For instance, the word bra is clipped from brassiere. Next, we look at borrowing. Borrowing is adopting words verbatim from other languages to the English language. And you will recall that in the course of history, there are several languages that have been imported into the English language. And so these words are borrowings. So you have the words written the way they are supposed to be written in the original language and pronounced as such. For instance, the word cafe is a French word, pronounced as a French word, and still written as with the accent on top of E. Now we move on to acronyms. Acronyms are of two types. You can have alphabetisms, words pronounced as letters, and you can have abronyms, words pronounced as words. For instance, you have HIV, okay, which is an acronym for human immunodeficiency virus, pronounced as letters, the letters itself. Then you have abronyms, for instance, LASU, Lagos State University, not LASU. Okay, then you have reduplication. In reduplication, a word or part of a word is repeated to create a new word. This repetition can be exact or modified. For instance, you have words such as willy-nilly, wishy-washy, hocus-pocus, ding-dong, Humpty-Dumpty, and so on and so forth. You also have coinages. Coinages are newly created or invented words to describe a new concept or a new idea. For example, you have the word hashtag, which is a new word, a social media new word. Now, words are the building blocks of sentences. Remember, we said morphemes are the building blocks of words, and words are the building blocks of sentences. Here are the main word classes in English. You have nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions, conjunctions, interjections. These word classes help us understand the roles words play in sentences and how they combine to convey meaning. Words can be divided into two. You can have content words and function words. Content words carry meaning and they convey information about the world. Content words such as noun, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, interjections. Function words perform grammatical function. You have conjunctions and prepositions. Now you need to test your knowledge of word formation processes. All you need to do is to look at these words and identify the word formation processes involved in generating them. The word emoticon, how is it generated? Telecast, brunch, uncouth, goodness, photo, telex, and mass, COVID, and flu. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please take note of key items in bold letters. Don't forget to join me again for another informative and insightful lesson on a study of the English language. I'm Dr. Riches and I'm happy to be your teacher. Bye.